And there's some shit the body guy that did the last kit put on here. We got to get this shit off. That's definitely gonna cause some issues. So yeah, we got to get that off. And we're back. All right, so now that we got fitment right, well, not fitment, but we got the camber, the negative camber out of there some. I'm gonna go ahead. It is storming. Thought I was gonna be able to pull the car out, do some of this outside, but that's not the case. So we are going to go ahead. I mean, this is why I installed this shop type lighting. I'm honestly thinking about putting a little bit more in, actually, above head here, because it's a little bit longer, these tubes are, than what I have here. And I'm thinking about possibly putting one on the workbench, but that's another story. But this is why I went ahead and got this space prepared, because it's cold season. I'm not gonna wanna work outside a lot in the cold, especially at night. And now we have enough light to work on both sides of the car. What we're gonna do is get the custom wheels on first, and then we're gonna bring out the wide body fender and see where this lines up. I would prefer to be a smidge in than a lot out, or as flush as we saw the front would be awesome. Now technically, the way I set the offsets up on the different size wheels from front to rear, the outside of the rim is the same going this way, and I did that for alignment purposes. That way it's a lot easier for fast lane to align these wheels versus having them offset from each other. The lips on the outside, it causes hell on the machine. This way it's a lot easier, and frankly I have more space on the inside of the wheel, which is good to get that away from that air strut, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and get the wheels on, get the fender up, and see how this shit lines up. I might have to call the wife in for extra pair of hands to get it kind of placed up there, unless I use tape, and that tape holds pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down this car a little bit. And there's some shit the body guy that did the last kit put on here. We got to get this shit off. That's definitely gonna cause some issues. So yeah, we got to get that off. Well, got that piece of shit off. So I'm glad that I'm actually getting this car repainted. So yeah, there we go. Awesome. Now I'm gonna do the other side, because there's a glob of shit on that side too, and then we can put the wheels on. Got the wheel on. Go ahead and drop it down some. See where it actually comes. Right now, I'm pretty sure it'll change a little bit when we drop the car, so go ahead and drop it down just a little bit. Ooh, not too fast, a little slower. All right, there we go. So there it is. Now let's go get the wide body fender. Now you could tell there's some toe adjustment that's gonna need to be fixed on here. So that will be done at Fastlane. More than likely, I also will have the K-Tune toe kit installed as well. But for right now, we just really need to focus on getting this lined up and then in at a 0 drop. So let me go get the fender. All right, so here is the wide, here it is. Here is the wide body fender. I love this. I'm just loving the fact that there's gonna be like a depth mark between there and the gas can. That's like a wide body telltale point. Like when you see the gas cap sunken back, I just love that look. It's just me, maybe. But here it is. I'm gonna get this plastic off, and then I'm gonna start getting it up there for fitment. I'll probably just go ahead and put the camera in time warp so you can watch the whole process, and then I'll come back in and explain what's going on, but at least you get to see it. So let's get started. got the wide body panel on somewhat with the tape. I think, you know, a little heat, the heat gun, as I'm putting it on there to kind of get it to mold a little bit better. It's a little bit rigid because it's new. So put some heat on there and then get it to mold as we start buckling it down. But overall, I think the overall fitment is pretty good. And once we really start locking it down how it should be, I'm pretty confident that I definitely pretty much got these lined up. So that's good right there. So I'm pretty good with this rough estimate of a lineup using the gas door panel and using the body edges here and here to kind of give me some play. And then here and here will kind of depend because there are also wide body parts that go here going back. So not too concerned with this just yet, and I'll wait for that. But as for the wheel fitment, which this came loose, let's get that back in there. Matter of fact, let me put another piece of tape in there. All right, there we go. So as far as wheel fitment, I like it. It is pretty much smack on what the front is. It's like, it's got a little poke. I'm not gonna say that's hella flush, that's a little poke. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna put the car in manual mode and drop it down to get an idea of how it will look at like a ride height, because this is like trailer height. So I'm gonna drop it down some in manual mode and let's see what we have. I'm gonna drop it down just enough to where this fender will come down but not hit the tire. Yeah, that's good enough. So of course, some of that fender's gonna get gone, but that's good enough. I would probably ride like that in ride height, maybe a little lower depending, but that's pretty good fitment to me. Look at that, we still have, get as close to that fender, you still have the lip. It's, damn, that might almost be hella flush. If we stand right here, we can barely get a sliver of that lip. That might be hella flush. I do like that fitment. I do like this fitment. Look at that. It is complimenting. Like the wheels don't need to be excessively outside a wide body kit to look nice. I think when everything else ties in, I think this is gonna be like I want it. And I will be able to drop down, still have back spacing on my components. So yeah, I like that. Matter of fact, let me see if we can see some of this back spacing. We got it. Oh yeah, that is a crap ton more space than I had with the other wheels cambered in. Like I did not have this much room in there. It was like barely a finger. So I am loving that back spacing here. And as you can see, some of the, well, you can't really see that great, but yeah. So that is cool. We are in there like swimwear. Oh yeah. So there we go. Wheel fitment with the wide body kit. I think it's looking pretty good. I honestly do. So I didn't want it to be excessively wide out here and then have to camber a lot back in. I wanted more of a boxy, like flush, little small poke, and then just to be able to zero out on the wide body and just have the wheels just like a 17 wheel tuck. I think to me is gonna look good. I'm gonna like it. So that's it. We're gonna keep rolling with this process, keep test fitting parts. I gotta start working with these riv nuts next to do some testing and use this panel, drill some holes in it before I start drilling holes in the actual car. Get the feel for the riv nut tool so I don't mess up anything else. Get the feel for drilling into the body. Find a good drill bit that's gonna work, that's not gonna gnarly it all up, that will get a nice clean bore in there. And we're gonna be off pretty soon. We're gonna be fitting this entire car with the wide body, and it's gonna be multicolored, but we're gonna get a better idea of how this car is gonna look with the wide body kit on there. So I'm excited about that. So you know what I say? Just build it. Peace.